Early morning in Tampa, Florida. The birds are chirping, and you see this sign right here with the colorful spectrum of the rainbow. And in the back, you have the beautiful sky, the beautiful morning sky, and lights from a cruise ship in the background of Harbor Island. This is Tampa, Florida. Hope you enjoy the video. This is P9 coming at you with another video, and I am here in downtown Tampa, Florida, on Florida Avenue, one of the main drags downtown. Now, Tampa is on the Gulf Coast of Florida. It is the largest city in the Tampa Bay area and the county seat of Hillsborough County. And it's also the third most populous city in Florida, behind Jacksonville and Miami. And it sits on the north shore of Tampa Bay. Just to give you a little rundown of Tampa and its location. But right here, this building is the City Hall of Tampa with the cream colored bricks. And it's a PNC tower right here. And it's a Truist tower that sits behind this building right here, which is the Hyatt Place and the Hyatt House hotels. This is right here is the Truist building. Now, Tampa was incorporated as a city in 1887, but prior to that, it was located on a military center, which it was situated at the mouth of the Hillsborough River, known as Fort Brooke. And one of the biggest industries in Tampa around that time were cigars. And those cigars were imported to the city by a Spanish entrepreneur by the name of Vicente Martinez Ybor, which is where Ybor City, which is also in Tampa, is named after. So we'll go to Ybor City another time, but for now I'm in downtown Tampa. And right here is the Bank of America Tower and Fifth Third Bank building. This is the Tampa Municipal Building. Now this area right here is called the Likes Gaslight Park. And you can see why, because they have gas lights right here. Goes one. So it's a city square park. Yeah, some nice colored tables and chairs over here, as you can see. But the gas lights right over here is really what makes it stand out. Gas lights are very old-fashioned. Here's a fountain right over here. And that right there is a stainless steel spiral that sits right in front of this Bank of America building. So that sculpture is really nice. Nice work of art. So I'm now on Tampa Street. Goes a Hilton Hotel right over here. I've been down that way already. Let me go down this way. So I'm gonna go over here. This is the Tampa City Center on Franklin Street. So this building right here is the PNC tower that we pointed out earlier, and it hosts a series of companies and law firms, as you can see over here. Captain James McKay, 1808 to 1876. So McKay was a native of Scotland, and he built his first permanent home made out of lumber from Mobile, Alabama, and he raised his children on this site. Him and his wife Matilda did, and McKay was a dominant factor in the upbuilding of Tampa in pioneer times. So Captain James McKay was a huge figure in Tampa during the Civil War era. Nice fountain right here. Check this out. Tampa Bay sculpture with two keys crossing each other. It's a dope sculpture right there. Palm trees. Can't resist the beauty of these palm trees. So right here is downtown Tampa's Whiting Street station, and Tampa does have a streetcar line which is run by the Hillsborough Area Regional Transit Authority, aka the Heart. They own, and so it's owned by the city of Tampa and maintained by the Tampa Historic Streetcar Inc. So yes, Tampa does have a streetcar system that is up and running. They also have a long history of streetcars dating back to the late 1800s, between 1885 and like the late 1800s going into the 1900s. Streetcars would connect between Tampa and Ybor City oftentimes. And those streetcars back then were ran by wood-burning steam engines. Nowadays, they're electrified streetcars these days. So this was the officers' quarter of Fort Brooke. And at the time, commanded from here, 1838, 1840, Zachary Taylor, 12th President of the United States. So this was the site of the Second Seminole Indian War. I think there was a bar over there called Hat Tricks. Still feel a little bit of humidity in the air. And there goes one of the streetcars right here. Right now I'm on Franklin Street. Just want to get this view of downtown from this angle. You know, I like free stuff. Got me a downtown Tampa guide and map. They also have special deals, and I love special deals. Save a buck anywhere you can. Let me check out this little underpass right here. And this is the Franklin Street Park. And it's part of the Selman Greenway and the Tampa Hillsborough Expressway Authority. So they essentially have a park right underneath the underpass. That's pretty unique. Never seen anything like that. But check this out. This arrangement of pictures. Of different messages on it. Loving, kind, innovative, proud. Then you have Tampa right here. So they have these stainless steel rings with these images of different individuals with polka dotted pixelation, different colors. And the artist is Catherine Woods, and the name of the piece is Tampa Together. So this basically, in short, just recognizes the diversity of Tampa's many neighborhoods and communities. Mayor Bob Buckhorn inspired 2017 State of the City address spoke to the aspirations and character of Tampa's diverse citizenry. So that art piece was constructed back in 2012, so 12 years later it still stands really nice. It goes an array of hotels. They have an Embassy Suites right here, and behind it is the Marriott. This building right here is the Tampa Convention Center. Nice young lady just waved at me. Saw the camera, so you know how that goes. There goes another streetcar right here.
I'm serious. Really? Cost me $24. Family was asking $40.
Yeah, 35. The regular tax.
Youngsters riding around on the scooters, enjoying the nice vibes of the city. Here's the side of the convention center right here. So I'm right here, over here by the Tampa River Walk. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go Buccaneers flag. So I'm right here at the marina on the Tampa River Walk. So it's a slew of boats over here. So this is over at the confluence of the Hillsborough River and the Garrison Channel. So as you can see, lots of water over here. And then again, this Tampa Convention Center sits right alongside the Riverwalk. So again, they have an Embassy Suites on the far left, Marriott Hotel, and another Marriott property over here. So the water taxi right there. A few water taxis. A few boats over here. And they have a place over here where you can rent paddle boards, kayaks, and bikes. I need to stop playing and bring my bike out here.
Yeah, so it's all fine by me.
So as you can see, they have a whole bunch of riverfront properties. Over here. I see why so many people like to move to Tampa, because it's beautiful out here. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down for now. Grab me some grub. But best believe there's gonna be a lot more footage, so stay tuned. Across from the convention center and the Marriott is Dick Greco Plaza, which is a transit center for the streetcar line here in Tampa. It used to be the terminal station for the line until Whiting Street Station, which we saw earlier, took that position. And this was back in 2003. But here's Dick Greco, who was born in Tampa on September 14th, 1933. And he was a 4-term mayor of the city of Tampa. So he was a mayor of the city that he grew up in, and he was also part of the Tampa City Council from October 1st of 63 and October 1st of 67. So here's a statue of Mr. Greco. Here's like a little poem right here by James Tokley Sr., which is dedicated to Dick Greco. But yes, this is a transit station, so you could wait here for a streetcar to take you to other parts of the city, alongside the Channel side and to Ybor City. Now I'm just casually strolling down Water Street. And right over here is the Amalie Arena. This is a multi-purpose arena, but its primary tenant is the Tampa Bay Lightning of the NHL, National Hockey League. As you can see right here, I'll try to get a closer up. Here we are right here. This is the Thunder Alley outside of the Amalie Arena, again home of the Tampa Bay hockey team of the NHL. I don't know much about hockey, so I don't know positions. All I know is this guy right here, his name is Brandon Hagel, and this individual over here, his name is Anthony Sorelli. And also it displays all of the Stanley Cups that they've won. They actually won 2 Stanley Cups in back-to-back years in 2020 and 2021, and they won it in 2004 as well, 2004. But here goes the Tampa Bay Lightning Stadium, which is Amalie Arena. And this statue right here is of a gentleman by the name of Phil Esposito. And he had a Hall of Fame career in the NHL in which he amassed 717 goals and 2 Stanley Cups over an 18-year time frame in the NHL. And he set his sight on securing an expansion franchise. So on December 7th, 1990, he accomplished his dream as the NHL awarded Tampa Bay with the team. This statue honors Esposito for what he affirms as the greatest accomplishment of his hockey career, founding the Tampa Bay Lightning. And it paid dividends. His efforts paid dividends because you know, basically he was able to bring hockey to a market where, quite frankly, South Florida hockey, it seemed like a long shot at the time. You know, hockey generally, that's real big up north, like around Canada, mainly in Canada, but also in like the northern states like Minnesota and like Wisconsin, places like that. But shout out to him for his efforts to bring in Tampa Bay professional sports franchise, because they have been very successful in their years here in Tampa. So before I go, let me get an up close of this sculpture right here. It looks like some thunderbolts. That's what it looks like. It's shaped like some thunderbolts. Or lightning bolts, I should say, because they are the Tampa Bay Lightning, so. And this guy right here, his name is Dave Andreychuk. This is him basically hoisting the Stanley Cup over his head. And he was the captain back in 2004 when the Bolts won the first championship of the franchise history. And keep in mind, during that time, they were only 12 years old as they commenced play in 1992. They defeated the Calgary Flames in 7 games, so it was an intense series. They went 7. And throughout the course of his career, Andreychuk skated 278 games with the Lightning. And he has a Hall of Fame career, which spanned 23 NHL seasons, where he scored 640 goals, with 274 of them coming on the power play, the most in NHL history at the time of his retirement. I've heard the term power play. Again, I have no idea what it means. I'm not gonna lie, this might sound crazy, but I used to watch hockey primarily to see the fights on the ice. I know, sounds crazy. I'm not innately a violent person, but it was just entertaining to me when because they could just, yeah. I'm not an advocate for violence, people. Display sportsmanship, but yeah. Well, I'm over here at the Fort Brooke Park, and this park sits on the site of a historical military post that was established in 1824 in present-day Tampa, Florida. So this basically served as a military headquarters during the Second Seminole War and also the Civil War. So unfortunately, a lot of bloodshed took place on this site, but right now it is a beautiful park. Right along the Hillsborough River.
Логіка є? Стоп, стоп, стоп. Логіка присутня? Стоп.
This is a bust of Cyril Blythe Andrews, who was a newspaper man, businessman, and civic leader. He owned and published the Florida Sentinel newspaper from 1945 until 1977, and he also purchased the Tampa Bulletin and merged the two in 1959. As a publisher with a strong community influence, his endorsement was coveted by office seekers. So in essence, he partnered in developing the Tampa Park Apartments and Plaza, which housed thousands of people and created a space for black business. Andrews was the first black appointed to the Hillsborough County Civil Service Board, was appointed to the Florida State Advisory Committee on Civil Rights by the Civil Rights Commission, and served on the Mayor's Biracial Committee and the Committee of Human Relations. So this was dedicated by the Friends of the Riverwalk, Inc. in 2013. Cyril Blythe Andrews.
Talk about something else fucking with my mind.
Yeah. So Colorado did do this here.
It's daybreak and the sun is slowly but surely setting. But still a little bit of daylight. So right along the river walk, you have a memorial that honors the City of Tampa Police Department. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. And also the Hillsborough County Fire Department and the City of Tampa Fire Department. So what a great way to honor the first responders. This is Heroes Plaza. Again, it's part of the Fort Brooke Park Riverwalk. And also part of the Riverwalk, let me come around this way, is a museum that's called the Tampa Bay History Center, as you can see right here. As you can see, a lot of those panels right there are stainless steel, which is definitely used in a lot of modern architecture. But it's over here, and it was established in 2009. So this building has been up since 2009. I knew it was relatively, like it hasn't been up for, I mean, it's been up now 15 years. So it looks like a building that hasn't been here over that period of time. But it's right here in the Channelside district of Tampa. And as you can see, they have this mosaic right here of Tampa and the Coast Guard. Few words carry as much weight in the annals of Coast Guard history as the word Tampa. Shout out to the U.S. Coast Guard. They also have the Tampa Morning Tribune in this mosaic style. And a couple soldiers right here. So Tampa has a huge presence when it comes to the United States Coast Guard. Like this right here. Hold on, they have a turtle shell. And they also have an alligator right here. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. And look at this stainless steel sculpture right here. Ceremonial space, the relocation journey from Tampa, Florida to Seminole, Oklahoma. So unfortunately, the natives, the Seminole Indians, were exiled from Tampa, Florida to Indian Territory out in Oklahoma. Pretty sure a lot of you guys have heard of the Trail of Tears. Fort Brooke in the aftermath of the Second Seminole War. War's End, the fort in town of Tampa, the war years, the Indians, and the years of conflict. So again, like I mentioned earlier, Fort Brooke was a major site of conflict during the Civil War and the Seminole War.
Actually, wait, don't gas them up. Don't gas them up too much.
Well, looks like I reached the end of my rope with the Tampa Bay Fort Brooke Park. Good morning, people. I am here in the Channel District of Tampa, and this is called the Channel District because of the fact that this part of the city is bordered by two channels, one of them being the Ybor Channel and one of the other ones being the Garrison Channel, and they're both located at the Port of Tampa. And this is the Port of Tampa right here. As you can see, this structure around this traffic circle. It's pretty cool. Yes, we're actually at Tampa Bay on the Channel District, and again, the Ybor Channel and the Garrison Channel are the two channels that meet up in this area to form Tampa Bay. And it's early Monday morning. And this is the cruise terminal for Port Tampa Bay, as you can see. So primarily a bunch of cruise ships port over here. Cruise ships like Carnival, like this is the Carnival ship right here, the Carnival Paradise. And this is one of the cruise terminals, but you can catch a cruise out of a multitude of cities in Florida, especially if they're located, you know, by a port, like in Miami and here in Tampa, and also in Jacksonville, just to name a few. I want to say West Palm Beach. I think you could catch a cruise out of there. I'm not sure. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know it's Tampa, Jacksonville, and Miami where you can catch a cruise ship to the Caribbean or the Caribbean, depending on who you ask as far as the pronunciation. So up there, it's closed now, but up further up that way, they have what's called the American Victory Ship and Museum. So not much else to see here, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn back around. So the Channel District, there's a variety of attractions in this area. One of them being the Florida Aquarium. There's also a series of condos and residential areas within this district. And it's located not too far from the Tampa Riverwalk. Which in essence hosts the Tampa Bay History Center. Now this right here is the Florida Aquarium, and in the front is a sculpture of the manta ray. So the manta sculpture is life-size, and the mantas can grow to 23 feet or about 7 meters. They prey and feed on tiny shrimp, krill, and other plankton. Long flexible fins can channel prey into the gaping mouth. Mantas live in warm seas around the world, migrating great distances for food. So this sculpture is the gift of the McNichols Company and family. It's a nice sculpture. And the building itself is 250,000 square feet. So it's a pretty good size, nice sized building. It's been in operation since 1995, so closing in on its 30th year anniversary. As you can see right here, this is the Cruise Terminal 2 for Port Tampa Bay, formerly known as the Tampa Bay Port. So here are a lot of those residential towers and condos I was just mentioning.
Called Joe like, Josh, you're gonna laugh. It's like the perfect night. I got to go in early.
I believe this right here is an office building. So the Tampa streetcar also runs through this district. It runs through this district. It also runs to the Greco Plaza, and it runs to Ybor City as well.
And I never do that, yeah. I found you. I was found you.
Check this out. Walk this way. Walk this way. Look at this beautiful mural right here. Courtesy of Art Capco. At Art Capco. Social media handle. So this is the Channel Side Plaza, and part of it is called the Sparkman Wharf. So I know this is going to be really nice. It's basically like a tourist area. Since it's so early in the morning, it's no foot traffic but right now, but as you can see, they have a BurgerFi. They have a pet store over here. They also have some little restaurants or little small, like this is an Everglade chicken and donuts right here. So they also, outside of donuts and coffee and things of that nature, they also serve chicken tenders. And they have a seafood company called the Half Moon. They have an ice cream joint right here called Jenny's. Hot dog spot. Have a beer garden right over here. Chocolate factory. Joyful Notion. And this right here, I believe, is called it's called Splitsville. So I believe it is a bowling alley. It looks like it's a bowling alley just from the outside, and then by the title. But here is also the cool parts coming up, the really cool parts coming. As you can see, another mural by the same artist we saw earlier at Art Capco. And this is a nice piece right here. It looks like a tiki with the nice colorful blend of pink, blue, green, and yellow. So that's really nice. Really nice. And as you can see, this is the seating area. It's like a social park area that's located right over here by Tampa Bay, right by the water. And they have these beautiful string lights going across the park on this artificial turf right here. And there's also a swings set right here, a couple of swings. They're attached by chains, as you can see, suspended from this canopy. It's like a mint green color. So yeah, this is right over here at the wharf, the Sparkman Wharf. And plenty of seating areas. You also have these wicker chairs, and you have umbrellas too, so you can put the umbrellas up for shade. They have a little checkerboard right here, and plenty of tables and chairs. And so all those restaurants over there, you know, you can come and grab some coffee, some donuts, or whatever type of grub you want to come grab, and come chill out and indulge in a nice, just a nice time. Just indulge in a good time. Galito Taquera. So there's a whole bunch of eating places over here. This one's called Dang Dude. Morning. Get your shaved ice over here for Deto's. So once the people come out later on in the day, I know this area is going to be crawling with people. I know it's generally like that. It is Monday, so I'm not sure how much of a crowd they're going to have today. I'm pretty sure on the weekends though, it's really, really packed. So that does it for the Channel Side district. Just wanted to get some footage of this particular part of the city. Very nice, peaceful, relaxing part of Tampa. Right over here is one of the streetcar stops right here in the Channel District. So before I go, I just want to get this sign right here. So I'm gonna come back with more footage, so stay tuned. Just left Tampa's Hillsborough County Library, public library on Ashley Street. And back to vlogging I go. Nice fountain right there in front of the library. It is now after 12 in the afternoon and it is blazing hot. I'm at the corner of Ashley and Cass Street. This is the Glazer Children's Museum right here. Get a load of these fountains right here. Again, this is the Glazer Children's Museum, and this is Curtis Hixon Waterfront Park. So Curtis Hixon Waterfront Park, it's a 8-acre waterfront park located in the heart of downtown next to Hillsborough River. And as we just saw, it was the Glazer's Children's Museum, but they also have the Tampa Museum of Art and a couple of other museums on the premises as well. So it's a huge green space. Get a nice view of the downtown buildings right here. And that right there is the Tampa Museum of Art. That building. Now, before Tampa's current convention center, where the Tampa Museum of Art is located, is where the previous convention center was located. So the Museum of Art is built where the Hixon Convention Center was built way back in like the 60s. So when they revitalized the waterfront area, particularly this park, that's when they added the Tampa Museum of Art. And this is the current day Hixon Waterfront Park. And you see these palm trees as they grace this landscape. I wonder what that building is right there, shaped like a cylinder. Not sure what that is over there. Not sure if that's a college campus. It looks like a college campus because there's a huge cluster of buildings together, and the buildings that stand out are those buildings right there. With the golden domes on them, or the silver domes on them. I believe that's the University of Tampa. That might be the campus, and if it is, I mean, that's pretty dope to have a college campus right next to a waterfront. Goes another one of the statues, and this is of the environmentalist by the name of Kate Victoria Jackson, who made many contributions to Tampa, and at a time when women could not vote, she led lobbying for essential public services. Parks and playgrounds were her biggest achievement, and the Tampa Civic Association, which she founded in 1910, was a major factor in creating the city's first water and sewage system. So sanitation was very key to preventing yellow fever epidemics that had plagued the area. So Kate Jackson was born in Tampa to Irish immigrants, and so she was a staunch environmentalist. That's cool. It's always good to get involved and protect the environment to the best of our abilities. So stop throwing trash in the rivers. Throw them in trash receptacles. We have an overabundance of trash receptacles. No, seriously. And another major figure in the history of Tampa is Henry Bradley Plant, who from 1819 and through 1819 to 1899, he graced this earth. And Henry Plant changed the economics and image of Tampa forever with this plant system of railroads, steamships, and hotels. And after the Civil War, Plant helped to rebuild the railroad system throughout the South. He purchased financially troubled railroads and laid new lines, creating a transportation empire that stretches into Florida. On January 22nd, 1884, the Plant system of railways reached Tampa. Plant extended the line to Port Tampa City and developed the port as a major deep water shipping hub. In 1898, it was the U.S. Army's post of embarkation during the Spanish-American War, where Plant's railroads and steamships made it easier for Florida's products to reach distant markets. So Tampa was an important terminus for passengers and cargo on Florida's west coast. So essentially, you know, this gentleman right here, Mr. Henry Plant, he purchased a lot of railroad companies that were going under economically and basically revitalized them. And, you know, of course, railroads during that time were a very important major method of transportation to ship cargo. And yeah, that's what it was. You know, so like just, you know, like yeah, he was a huge figure during that time. And railroads were, and still is, a very key component in shipping goods as well as cargo ships. So Plant was one of the pioneers in making sure transportation via railroad and ships were possible during that time in Florida, Tampa specifically.
Population.
So they did a really good job of making this Riverwalk Park extremely pristine and relaxing. A lot of flavor added to this Riverwalk. And again, that's the campus of the University of Tampa, overlooking the Hillsborough River. And there goes another look of the Museum of Art for Tampa. And that's it. That is the Hixon Waterfront Park, named after the mayor of Tampa, Curtis Hixon. Now, Curtis Hixon was actually the mayor of Tampa. Let's see. Actually, no, he was elected to the Tampa City Council in 1929, and then he became mayor of Tampa around World War I. So he was the mayor around the time where Tampa built its international airport. And before that, it was a major airfield used for the rationing of food supplies and also munitions. Here's another major figure, Garfield DeVoe Rogers, aka GD. And in 1905, with no money, GD Rogers began his trek from Georgia to Central Florida, walking along railroad tracks and, it is said, selling railroad ties to buy food. In Bradenton, he quickly developed business skills and civic activism. In 1922, he helped create Tampa Central Industrial Life Company, an agency that sold insurance policies to blacks. So this was a huge entrepreneur during a time, again, this was in the 1920s. So he played a huge role in activism and also helping register black voters at a time where black voters were disenfranchised and completely, well, at least in the Jim Crow era, they were disenfranchised, but they also established political power after the Reconstruction era, or during the Reconstruction era. So a lot of historical figures linked to the city of Tampa. And once again, this was Curtis Hixon Park. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here and get more footage as we proceed through this video. Yeah, I had to get this. I'm at the corner of Ashley and Zach Street, and this is the legendary Jimi Hendrix, his marker. Jimi Hendrix from 1942 to 1970, one of the most influential musicians and guitarists of the 20th century. His legacy, dedication, and passion for music transcends all boundaries and brings people from all walks of life together. So he performed 2 nights here in Tampa between the dates of August 18th and November 23rd of 1968 at what was once Curtis Hixon Hall, which is now the beautiful Curtis Hixon Waterfront Park. It is important to note that out of the 216 concerts Hendrix played from the 1967 to 1970 with the Jimi Hendrix Experience, 2 of them were in Tampa. The Jimi Hendrix Experience had been on the road touring for at least 2 years, and by that time they were near sellouts with over 7,000 fans attending each night. Unfortunately, Jimi Hendrix was only 27 years old when he passed away, but his life and his lasting impact on the musicians of Tampa Bay is a part of the rich history of downtown Tampa. So there's an image of Jimi Hendrix strumming that guitar. I was actually listening to Red House while I was in the library, as a matter of fact. And just so happens that they happen to be a marker right there. But yes, that's the late great Jimi Hendrix, part of that 27 club of musicians who died at the age of 27. But Jimi Hendrix can play the heck out of a guitar. You know, I mean now you had Prince, but first you had Jimi Hendrix. The way he played those blues songs, unparalleled. Between him and B.B. King, I don't know. Walking down Zach Street now. TECO Energy's Tampa Electric Company, organized October 1899. So Colonel Peter O. Knight created the Tampa Electric Company, a utility company which served over 1,200 customers of electricity at that time. So the TECO Energy Company is a utility company here in Tampa.
Head north on North Florida Avenue toward East 7th.
And right here, this colorful building right here is the Tampa Theater. And in most major cities, they do have these old school Art Deco theaters right here. Actually, this is Mediterranean Revival style, excuse me. But this is Tampa Theater, and it was opened in 1926. So it's just under 100 years old. As you can see, it's a multi-story building. So those houses offices, and on the ground level, of course, is the theater. I'm over here on Franklin and Polk.
And once I passed it, he turned around and started following. Would that mean he had probable cause?
And at the corner of Franklin Street and Polk Street lays the site of the World War sit-in, Tampa's former FW World War store. So again, you had another World War sit-in. This was a nationwide sweep during that time. And the president, Clarence Fort, at the time of the NAACP Youth Council, and Reverend Leon Lowry, the NAACP state president, organized a sit-in with about 40 students from Middleton and H.W. Blake high schools. So they all congregated at the lunch counter at 801 Franklin Street. And of course, the things that ensued there was a bunch of police coming to arrest and do what they do best. So, and that was at that time arrest protesters. And I want to say it was in this building right here. It looks like the building where the Woolworth's department store was located, or was. I said, doing some construction over here on the first floor of what looks like this hotel. It's either a hotel or an apartment building, but nevertheless, looks like a hotel. But that does it for all of the downtown footage for this Tampa vlog. But stay tuned, there's more footage from the city of Tampa. And I'm gonna close this Tampa video out with this footage of the Raymond James Stadium, which is the home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, aka the Bucks. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been a franchise going as far back as 1976. So the first couple of decades, I mean, they were underachieving badly. They were the bottom of the barrel franchise in the NFL. But things turned around, I'd probably say, in the late 90s. And they've had a lot of success ever since then. And you know, they also won 2 Super Bowls within my lifetime. But here is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Stadium. Now, Raymond James Stadium itself was opened in 1998. So the Buccaneers have had a lot of success right here in this stadium. They won 2 Super Bowls, and they've made, you know, in this particular stadium, they've made 10 playoff appearances and won 6 division titles. Well, actually 7 when you count 1999. They won 7 division titles in this building. But enough about that. Let's check out how nice this stadium looks on the outside. As you can see, you have these little tiki huts right here, and they have the design with the little beach. You got the sand right here. It's called the Bucks Beach. So I know during game day, it's obviously off season now, but I know during game day, it'd be packed over here, especially in this area. You know, it's a good place for the kids to hang out. But back to the football side, yes, a lot of successful players have played for the Buccaneers. I remember they had a solid defense, particularly in that Super Bowl run back in 2002, where they had Warren Sapp, Simeon Rice, Derrick Brooks, I'm sorry. Derrick Brooks, the linebacker. They had John Lynch as a safety. They had Ronde Barber as a corner. I mean, their defense was locking things up. And that year that they won the Super Bowl, Dexter Jackson, who was a safety, was the Super Bowl MVP. And 18 years later, the GOAT, Tom Brady, brought a chip to the city of Tampa as well. So shout out to the GOAT, Tom Brady. Also, I know y'all remember the A-Train, Mike Allstott. Warwick Dunn. I believe Joey Galloway played for the Buccaneers at one point. And it's so many great players who put on a Buccaneers uniform. Oh yeah, Steve Young, before he hit Hall of Fame status, he played for the Buccaneers. And this was during their early days. With that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and end this vlog. And thank you guys for tuning in to this video. And if you like this video of the city of Tampa, please hit that like button as well as the subscribe button if you're new. And stay tuned. I'm gonna keep dropping this content, so you know how that goes. With that in mind, you guys, you take care, have yourselves a great evening, and peace.